thank you all, because we are all here for the same purpose, to protect the planet, the people, and make sure that we end fossil fuels across the globe. We must be too big and too radical to ignore.
And we're like, the world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change. And your biggest issue is, your biggest issue is, how are we going to pay for it? And like, this is the war. This is our World War II.
We will not give up. And that is what we are here to do today, to tell our leaders, from President Biden to the UN General Assembly, to all of our elected officials, that we demand to change. It will happen now. It begins today. It is occurring today. And it's because of you.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. So Donald Trump, he's been coming out more and more, talking to more and more of these reporters, kind of playing with some of them. And one of them just tried to outsmart the guy. Donald Trump turned it around and made the guy probably feel like a total moron. Before I get into it, guys, thank you so much to everyone that's been subscribing and leaving such great comments. Really appreciate the support. If you haven't already, help us to continue to grow. Like, comment, subscribe, most importantly, share the channel. So here's the thing, and here's where we're at as we get closer to 2024 and the election. You know, Donald Trump really wants to win. And believe it or not, you know, when he says, unlike Joe Biden, when he says that he wants to be the president for all of America, the guy seems to mean it. You know, Joe Biden, even as president, he only goes on and he only talks to very, very friendly people. And he does it so rarely. You know, this is not the transparent administration that we were promised. You know, he doesn't seem to really care what anybody thinks, or, you know, at least that's the way it appears. But Donald Trump, he really does want to get his message out to as many people as possible. So he goes on places like Univision, which, you know, that's what he did. You know, this is a place that's become a pretty liberal station, which is kind of wild when you think about it. You know, that when you think about the demographics of the Latino community, I'm very, very surprised that they do lean so heavily Democrat. But I guess, you know, it is what it is. And media should not be, you know, conflated with the actual people. But anyway, so they start talking about climate change. And I think Donald Trump put it in terms and perspective that unless you are a complete and total dyed-in-the-wool climate cultist, it will absolutely make sense. And it must have made sense to this reporter, because it left him looking pretty damn shell-shocked. Take a look at this.
And that's what I did. But Viktor Orban, who's a highly respected leader and really a good man, he said that Trump had this thing going so well. 3 years ago, we had no problems. We had no inflation. We had no Ukraine problem. We had no Israel problem. We had no problems literally whatsoever. We had a border that was secure, the most secure it's ever been. The United States economy was the strongest it's ever been. We did some job. And now everything is horrible. You're going to end up in a world war. We have an incompetent leader of the United States. He can't walk off a stage. He can't find the stairs. He can't put two sentences together. He can't talk. And this man is dealing with Putin and President Xi and all of these people that would probably not say they love us. But we have somebody that's negotiating for us. And, you know, when you talk about negotiating, you're talking about the biggest threat in this world today. It's probably a question you're going to ask me. It's border and all of that. But the biggest threat is nuclear weapons. And we have a man that doesn't even know what a nuclear weapon is as our chief negotiator. And it's a very scary thing. You could end up in World War III. And if World War III happens, probably Mexico will no longer be around, because the power of nuclear weapons are so big. If they hit us, you're going to be wiped out too. That's how bad it is. And when I hear these people talking about the environment and over a 300-year period, the oceans will rise by 1/100th of an inch. And this is such a threat. It's not a threat. The threat is not global warming. It's nuclear warming. It's the single biggest threat to your country, to our country, to every country.
To global security. You said, but
the single biggest threat.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you see that, and that is pretty damn scary stuff when you hear it like that, or when you actually let yourself think about it. But I mean, that really does put things in perspective. And you guys want to worry about all these first world problems, all these feel-good issues. You drive around in your Prius and you think you're saving the world, when you're literally voting for people that are just inches away from literally destroying the world for good and forever. You want to worry about climate change. Nothing will change the climate like global freaking annihilation. And you could trust the science on that for sure. But that one's hard to argue with. No matter who's paying the scientists, they are pretty much going to agree with that. But anyway, guys, that's just my take. I thought you'd get a kick out of that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. We'll see you in the next one.